Dear colleagues, let me introduce myself. My name is Dmitrieva. The topic of my presentation is Russophobia. The goal of my talk is to determine what Russophobia is and consider practical application of Russophobia. Russophobia is a biased, suspicious and hostile attitude towards Russia and the Russians. Historical analysis shows that Russophobia has always been a part of any ideology of our aggressive geopolitical opponents. Scientists divide Russophobia into two types. Mass Russophobia is a hatred of the Russians, prevalent among the general population. Usually, such Russophobia is provoked by events in the world, when Russia is a participant or initiator of these events. Elite Russophobia is a part of policy pursued by people who have power in the country. Such Russophobia is a great danger to society, as it is supported at the state level. Russophobia, like any other phenomenon, has causes. The first is aggressive foreign policy of Russia, including the Russian Empire. The second is economic and political competition of countries. The third is the historical and cultural differences between the West and Russia. Let's look now at some examples of Russophobia. Polish authorities have confirmed that they consider inappropriate the presence of Vladimir Putin at the commemorative events dedicated to the 80th anniversary of the outbreak of World War II. In 1996, 63 Estonian parliamentarians signed an appeal to the President of the self-proclaimed Chechen Republic and expressed deep sympathy for the Chechen people, and expressed personal sympathy to Dudayev in connection with the loss of Commander Salman Raduev. Raduev gained worldwide fame as the organizer of a terrorist attack on the Dagestan city of Kizlar, during which thousands of people were taken hostage and several tens were killed. The State Duma of Russia stated that the appeal of deputies of the Estonian parliament is a manifestation of aggressive Russophobia. Often, Estonian Russophobia is manifested in anti-communist rhetoric and in the form of speculation about tragic episodes in the history of the country. Stephen Cohen analyzes reactions to events in Russia in newspapers such as the Washington Post and New York Times. In his opinion, authors of articles often show disregard for Russia. Now I would like to point out several ways of overcoming Russophobia. Misunderstanding and hostility in modern conditions can be overcome only with the establishment of wider intercultural and interstate communication. Russophobia is considered as a consequence of racism deeply rooted in the Western worldview. Based on this, it is assumed that overcoming Russophobia is unlikely. It is only possible to mitigate and eliminate its external manifestations. We can turn to experience of the struggle for the rights of Jews and African Americans in America. We need to correct erroneous interpretations of Russophobia. Sometimes Any criticism of Russia or the Russians was interpreted as Russophobia. Let's summarize briefly what we've looked at. We've considered the following points: definition of Russophobia, types of Russophobia, causes of Russophobia, examples of Russophobia, and ways of overcoming Russophobia. In conclusion, I'd like to say that it is necessary to rationally approach the problem of Russophobia. This means that we must comprehensively study and discuss this problem. Also, pay attention to the behavior of Russophobes in accordance with the national interests. Thank you for attention.